bringing down the barriers between us that cause you to be at each other's throats. Hopefully just a bit of kindness and empathy to people where they're at.
Just radiate positivity and good vibes. You just smile when you see it.
Kind of look at what these people, what are they doing? Like, how's their relationship with digital media? What are they eating? How are they resting? It was never by people telling me that I should do it. Me and my partner owned a vegan cafe for 3 years. We never called it a vegan cafe.
So my next guest is Sam Ryder, who was 2022's Eurovision Song Contest entry for the UK. He was runner-up, but to Croatia, so fair enough. Sam's had a career in TikTok, and he's amassed a huge following on that social media platform, as well as appearing in a glam rock band, getting Billboard recognition along the way. So we're going to find out a little bit more about what it is, though, that has kept Sam wanting to be vegan. So I'm here with Sam today.
Hello.
Hello, Sam. Thank you for joining us.
I just got beat the hell out of for this interview.
Yeah, he was being rude, so
I did, yeah.
in the eye.
Decked him, but he's still around.
He's all right, though. So, Sam, where to start? So let's go back to your musical beginnings. You were 11 years old when you knew you wanted to be a musician, is that?
Yeah. Around that time, I went to see Sum 41 at Wembley Arena, just fell in love. I was like, I remember getting tickets, and in my mind, Wembley Arena was kind of like the size of this, maybe 10, and like they'd be there and all of us would be sat on the floor like watching them play, and I got there and I was like, it's a massive warehouse. So I still had an absolute blast, and yeah.
Amazing. And yeah, was it Derek Whibley? Did you get the hair?
I did. I copied his hair, which is that's interesting that we're at a vegan festival, and like I'm sure we're going to chat about like why people become vegan and stuff like that, and but it's similar, I think, into why I was twisting my hair into spikes like Derek Whibley, or wearing the same like baggy white t-shirts as Eminem. Still wear those t-shirts to be honest. It's because you kind of, when you're a kid, you haven't got your own I guess you haven't got enough life experience to know who you are as a person. So you kind of latch on like little pilot fishes to these bigger sharks, like your favourite bands or your favourite actors or favourite, whatever. And I think veganism is a lot like that. When you're more sort of knowledgeable, hopefully, to make your own choices, you look at other people that you admire that are succeeding in certain ways. Like for me, like I look at Lewis Hamilton. I think he's just an amazing inspiration, not just as a racing driver on the track, but where his work to promote diversity within a sport that's kind of in great need of it and has been for a long time. To his like view on being a competing athlete in general, like the winning isn't just coming first. You can win and not come first. I'm trying that very much inspired me throughout Eurovision and stuff like that. And then you kind of look at what these people, what are they doing? Like, how's their relationship with digital media? What are they eating? How are they resting? How are they like being this like optimum performance machine?
Yeah, it's true as well, especially for men coming into it as well. And vegan men and reaching men is such a big part of it. Yeah, because we hear, a lot of women traditionally are more vegan.
Really?
And a lot of men come into it through girlfriends usually. Yeah. So for you to have that kind of platform, do you ever feel like a sense of responsibility to talk about?
I'm very careful with stuff like that. I don't see, but just because of how I was led to things that I love in my life. And inspired to follow, it was never by people telling me that I should do it. It was always someone, and I spoke, sorry if you've heard this already, to the last interviewer, but when someone turns up and in my life and we, I don't know, meet by chance or a show or on set or anything like that, and they're glowing, I will always ask them, like, what are you doing? You look fantastic. You look sort of healthy. Your eyes are bright. I don't know. There's something about like a healthy-looking human being that makes you think, I want to look and feel like that. I want to feel that fresh when I wake up in the morning. And then when you have asked a question, then the response sticks with you way more, and it becomes something of an inspiration to follow, rather than if that person proffers up the information on their own accord, it becomes received as a judgment instead upon what your current life or habits are. So me and my partner owned a vegan cafe for 3 years. We never called it a vegan cafe. It was always just a sort of a health food shop, essentially. And I made all the juices, and my partner made all the food. And because we never passed on that judgment to customers coming in, we had way more people that were, I guess, intrigued, but not intimidated.
Yeah.
So everyone walked through the door and then made their own mind up, where I know if we would have promoted it as being a vegan, like, cafe, people would have interpreted that as it's a vegan space, which obviously isn't the truth, but that's how these things work. And it would have made people, I mean, I go into guitar shops now, I feel intimidated.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to sit down and play a guitar in a guitar shop. So I'm like, I'm probably the worst guitarist I've had today. And so we are, all of us, like, we go window shopping and we're all intimidated sometimes to go into certain shops. It's no different to, imagine how much that's increased by someone saying, this is this shop. Or like, I've never been into a Warhammer shop, for example, like, because I have no interest really in Warhammer. So I'd be well intimidated going in there because I feel like I was getting judged. So I think it's so important to sort of use, I mean, there's space for everything. Like, there's people that are, like, the world needs activism.
Yes.
But if you are not an activist at heart, you will not be a good activist. I would not be a good activist. I prefer gentle sort of, like, when I'm around people, like, even in my team on the bus, like, we all sort of are interested and intrigued by each other's life choices, and sometimes that inspires change amongst other people, self-included. Like, hang out with some of the guys on the bus, I'm like, I want to try that. Like, they've inspired me to start doing HIIT workouts. I hate this. But, like, talking to people that, and these guys aren't vegan, but they're not, like, against it or anything like that. But yeah, it just inspires me because I've asked and I've shown, like, I've got the answers out.
Their passion, don't you? And it comes across as insincere.
That's really working for you. Your jawline is fantastic. I want to get mine back. And so I've started doing HIIT workouts. I feel amazing. You know?
That's incredible.
As if someone kept on coming up to me going like, mate, you need to do some HIIT workout. Like, I'd be like, get lost.
Yeah, it's true. And that's that whole vegan stigmatism as well, isn't
yeah.
it? You know, they think that we're preachy and judgy, and it's just not the case. I mean, it doesn't have to be the case. You're going to always have that.
Yeah. And of course, like, there's so many people out there, bless them, like that. Like, I know some of them that have got really, like, troubling and difficult health issues. It makes going vegan impossible, unfortunately. And I'm sure that there may be people watching this, and I'm sorry if you are, that maybe disagree with that. I can only pass on information that they've told me. But they've tried and it didn't work. They were having, like, awful side effects, and it makes them feel like they've been left out of this club, and it's horrible, you know, to then keep passing on the fact, well, you could be, you should be. Like, it's horrible. And they're sitting in a wheelchair, they can't, like, their tendons are not working the way that they want them to, you know. It's very easy for us to sometimes, enough's in it, unfortunately. It feels a bit toxic to me, like, saying that is a kind of a vegan-sized Band-Aid that could fit on everyone. And I don't know what the answers are. I don't know what to suggest in as an alternative. I know that, I'm guessing for us three, the gentleman behind the camera and us two here, that veganism works, and we're incredibly blessed that it works, and we feel in great shape and filled up. We're doing a service to our body through it, but perhaps there are other people that struggle, that it's not so easy.
Yeah, what is it that keeps you vegan, Sam? Because you've been vegan for a decade.
I love the animals. I feel like it works for me. I'm inspired by other people that seem to be, like, functioning at the, like, optimum, that are plant-based. And I really think that, like, it's a bit gross, like, even just, like, as a singer, like, anything that kind of reduces inflammation or, like, mucus build-up and stuff like that. Sorry, it's gross. But,
no, it's fine.
I think it's really healthy as a singer. But I also do other things, like a lot of ice baths, and I haven't had a warm shower, unless I'm washing my hair, like, in probably 6 years, something like that. Always just cold water as much as possible.
Is that,
and that's
like,
even helped with this operation that I just had on my face, like, just to keep the swelling down. I mean, the body doesn't need inflammation. It's essentially, it's protecting itself, but there are ways to kind of get it under control. Like, we sometimes, like, where the body will naturally want to inflame itself as a result of injury, we also can inadvertently cause it to inflame through our dietary choices. But I'm no nutritionist. Don't really know what to talk. Just talking about my own sort of, I guess, experiences with different foods and supplements.
I mean, you mentioned that you went vegan for the animals and that you set up the cafe with your partner. nowadays as well, there's so many other routes into it, through the health, through the planet, through the environmental side. And, you know, even like things like game changers have changed how people kind of view plant-based diets.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you see as the kind of future for veganism? Do you think it's going to continue to grow, or not to put you on the spot?
No. I mean, I can't see that it wouldn't grow. Like there was just that article I read this morning saying, I don't know who it was, so forgive me, but that we're past the stage of global warming. We're in the stage of global boiling, which sounds terrifying. I don't know how much of it is like exaggerated and fear-inducing. We have to watch out for that as well. There's a lot of that stuff going around, whip us up into a frenzy, start dividing us, but we can see, I mean, things seem to be
The weather now.
pretty chaotic. And I think I don't have all the information. I'm not sure any of us, even here, maybe I'm sure there's a lot more clever people in that tent over there doing speeches, but it seems to me that a way to reduce some of that warming effect is through diet choices. But then I know that there are implications with certain foods that us in the vegan community rely on quite heavily. I know the old avocado debate is pretty hot, isn't it? And the almonds, as if like all of us are sat here eating avocados and almonds only.
Can't buy houses because of the avocado.
Yeah. Which, you know, but yeah, I'm sure there are. It's not just a one size fits all situation, but the start of anything like this is awareness. There's always ways that we can improve. Perhaps it isn't just as simple as right now the whole planet is ready to go vegan, just the same as the whole planet is not ready to go fully electric cars, because no one will be able to get around, no one can charge them. Like if you live where I live, there's no charger anywhere. So who knows, but it's about, first of all, bringing down the barriers between us, causing us to be at each other's throats, and hopefully just a bit of kindness and empathy to people where they're at.
That's all you can do, really, isn't it? I know you're about to play Vegan Camp Out now. Congratulations, obviously, on Eurovision.
Thank you.
Everybody, as everyone knows you for that. But also, you had Billboard success in your youth as well, in a fun rock band.
Yeah. Something like that.
Yeah, all right, we won't touch on that. Don't
Had a
worry.
good time.
Well, yeah, thank you for chatting to us today. Enjoy your set later
Thanks,
on.
mate.
And yeah, thank you so much.
Thanks for letting me waffle on.
No, anytime. Thanks, Sam.
Cheers.